guys, welcome back to my channel, Arcana ATL. My name is Cidnee, and let's get into this week's video. What the fuck is tarot? WTF tarot, okay? So I absolutely understand that this is something that is probably on a lot of people's minds, whether you're someone that is just now getting into tarot, interested in readings, or maybe you already know what tarot is and this video is just going to help reinforce some things. But this is from my perspective, my insight, what I've learned, and I just wanted to share that with you because I think breaking that down and getting through all the, mystery is what's going to help people really connect. Tarot is a divination tool at its best, okay? Divination means to be able to discern things that are unseen or unknown, okay? We can use divination as crystal balls or tea leaves, psychic abilities, and tarot is one of the most popular tools of divination. It actually started way long ago. I won't bore you with all of the numbers and all of that, but 1700s, 1600s, way back then. That's what the books like to tell you. But actually, it started back in Africa, like a lot of things have, okay, including us as people. So it's been around, the imagery's been around for a very long time. But it did get popularized in Europe when it was used for a parlor game. So the rich and the hoity-toity would get together and they would come and get their tarot read. And so it was something that was classist at a point in time where you couldn't even get access to tarot if you weren't making a certain amount of money or you weren't a part of a certain group of people. And that's another reason why I'm so happy that so many more people are involved in tarot, using their gifts, understanding that we all have those abilities and we all should be able to help ourselves and others and not make this something that is just for the elite or just for the magical and gifted, because like I mentioned in our first video, we are all magical and we are all gifted. So let's get into the tarot a little bit more. I have my trusty sidekick here, which is WTF is Tarot and How Do You Do It by Bakara Wintner. She's got an amazing store, Everyday Magic, and I believe it's in North Carolina, and I have it on my list to visit. But this book was my favorite tarot purchase when it comes to information about tarot, what it is. It's super down to earth. It's totally my vibe, as you can see by the title and the title of this. I got the inspiration from there. And I also want to talk about the texture of the book. I have a thing for texture, and this is like that suede kind of smooth feeling. It feels awesome. So she breaks it down really great in here. She goes through all of the cards and how to do spreads, what is tarot, like we're talking about, what are other magical things that come with it, how the fuck do I give a reading, like this is what I'm talking about. So this book is great. I actually bought it last year when I was in New York at the airport. I was on a layover and I was waiting, and it was so long, it was so boring, and I was like, I'm gonna go get a book, and this was at the bookstore, and I'm so freaking happy that I got it. There's plenty of other awesome tarot books out there. Let me know if you're interested, and I can definitely put them in the description box, the ones that I've used, but this is definitely one of my favorites. She breaks it down in a really like colloquial way, and you can really relate to it, and she gives you great imagery, and I've really learned a lot on top of what I already knew. As you know, I just want to start with like a traditional tarot. That's what this video is going to be about as well. Just like, what is a traditional tarot deck? And like, what does that even mean? So let's start with the deck first before we get into the magic behind the deck. Rider-Waite is one of the most well-known traditional decks that there is. This isn't it. This is the Morgan Greer. But all decks are based off of that Rider-Waite deck, okay? It happened in the early 1900s when two people came together. One was an illustrator and one was kind of like the brain behind it. And that's basically how tarot cards come together anyways. You have someone that knows the cards and what they mean and want to author that part of it. And then you have someone that has the creative vision and helps create the imagery that's on the cards. So that is how tarot cards are typically manufactured. but the Rider-Waite was the first and the most popular in the 20th century. So all decks are based off of that deck. So if you're first beginning, I would highly recommend you get that, or I like the Morgan Greer, which is very closely based off of it, but I like the imagery a lot better. It's way more colorful and I just dig it more, okay? So that is where the traditional tarot that we all know today, without all of the other history, comes from, okay? And so with that, the deck is split into two major sections: Major Arcana and Minor Arcana, hence my name, Arcana ATL. So Arcana means mysteries and secrets. And I love that because that's what the tarot is all about. We want to know more. We want to understand more. So we're unraveling those mysteries and those secrets and what's really going on with us, okay? And so with that, the major it's 78 cards in total, a traditional deck. And 22 of those are the major, and then the rest are the minor arcana. So let's talk about the major arcana first. So the major arcana goes from 0 to 21, I believe. And that is starting with the Fool. And so that's the beginning of your journey, okay? The beginning of stepping out on faith and you're on this journey. And then 21 is the World card, which is the ending of that journey. You've achieved your goals, okay? So all throughout that major arcana is a storyline of ups and downs and triumphs and pauses and, you know, all kinds of things energetically that can happen on your journey. So what I will be doing on this channel is breaking down each and every one of these cards, starting with the Fool. And so check out the subsequent videos as I break each card down, but that's the major arcana. Then we go into the minor arcana, which isn't minor at all. It's very much so the bulk of the tarot, okay? And that is divided into 4 suits, okay? Just like your deck of playing cards. We have cups, wands, swords, and pentacles or coins. These 4 are your base. And depending on the deck, they may take them and turn them into fun things that are like quirky and interesting depending on the theme of the deck. But they all come from that base. And let's talk about those real quick. So cups energy is all about your emotions. How are you feeling about something? And that is the cup. So it actually is like the womb of the woman. So it's kind of the feminine energy of the deck. Then we have the sword. So the sword is very sharp, right? And that's all about our intellect, our brain, our mind. How are we thinking about a situation? Then we have the wand, okay? So that one's a little bit more masculine, right? Like a wand, it's phallic, right? And the wand is all about our passion and career-centered things. And then we have the pentacles. Pentacles, again, is more of a womb shape, okay? So if you see there, we have the cups is the feminine energy, pentacles, more feminine energy, and swords and wands, more masculine energy. Okay, so pentacles is all about money or the actual manifestation of things in real time in this earthly realm. So if you're wanting something, if you want to achieve something, pentacles comes up because you're really wanting that new car or that new relationship. Okay, and so that is how the minor is split up into those. And then of course from there you've got your ace to 10 in the numbers of the minor, and then you have your court cards. And your court cards are kind of just like what we know from a traditional tarot deck. You have your queen, your king, and then you have your page and your sun or your knight. It's page, knight, queen, king. And those, like I just said, a sun, that might be in a different deck. You might have a son instead of a knight, or you might have a daughter instead of a page, or a princess and a prince. So those kind of get interesting and have different names associated with them depending on the deck that you are working with. But that is the basis of the tarot, how they're split up. Okay, so we have our major, Our minor, our major are these big overarching energies that start with the full energy and end with the world. And then our minor are things that help us understand what's going on in these major shifts in our life. I like to look at it as like weather and seasons. So major arcana is kind of like a season energy. You're going to live in it more. It's more influential. It's more long term. It has bigger consequences or gifts. And the minor are your energy changes every day. So like the weather changes every day. So it might be sunny and clear one day and stormy and cool the next. And that's kind of how the minor arcana is when it's connecting to your energy. So that brings us to, how do you even do tarot? Like, what is it? And that's where I think is the most mystic of the idea of tarot. How does it work? Essentially what's going on is you have someone like myself who's an intuitive empath, and there's plenty of us among us out there, and we are tapped in, we're open, we have this ability to read energy. And you as the client or the beginner, you might be reading your own energy, so you might be the client, okay? And so what's going on is you're essentially connecting to their energy through your energy, okay? And we'll get into more of higher self, spirit guides, and things of that nature in subsequent videos. But right now, the main thing is you're connecting with their other person's energy and you're reading it, okay? And it's coming from their subconscious, which is the cool part. The cool part is what you're really doing is you're able to, like this skull, you're going into someone's subconscious and you're pulling out everything that they're thinking about, wondering about, feeling, and you're showing it to them. And that's where those confirmations come in, where it's like, oh my God, that's exactly how I'm feeling. I know that's how you're feeling because I'm reading your energy, okay? So it works like that. We'll talk about it in the later videos. Definitely let me know if you'd like me to go into a super detail on how to do that. But for the most part, in this overall video of WTF is Tarot, know that you're picking up on another person's energy, and that is being diffused through the cards. So as you connect with that person and you shuffle those cards, the cards are arranging themselves in an order that is feeding off of the energy that you're reading. And that's when you flip that card over and it's like, I am feeling that way, because you're picking up on their subconscious energies. So that is a big misconception with tarot. It's like, are you psychic? Are you, reading my mind? It's more of reading your energy, and the psychicness comes from your desires, your goals, and or your blocks that are stopping you from achieving those goals. So that's what tarot helps you with. It's a guide to help you move forward on your path with direction and clarity, and understand that there may be something that you need to work on that's stopping you from getting to your ultimate goal. And that's what a reader's for. A reader's there to give you clarity and insight on situations, but you ultimately have to put the work in and take that and apply it to your life. So that is the overall vibe of what a tarot reading is, or what it is. It's cards that we use to discern things for our other people or ourselves when it comes to direction or choices or needing clarity or something, or why are we feeling blocked? And so all of those questions are great questions to use to decipher, to pull energy and decipher what that client needs to hear. So I hope this gives you some really interesting insight on what the fuck is tarot, right? And I will be, like I said, breaking down the tarot in subsequent videos. So let me know if you want me to start an order, which I will, and that's typically what I'm going to strive for, but I don't mind bouncing around as well. So if there's a card that you really are wanting to know, like the Death card or the Wheel of Fortune or the Fool, let me know and I can start there, because that would be really fun to start out of order and not have to go in such a like mundane way. I'll also talk about all the other different types of decks. I got mini decks. I've got African inspired decks. There's so many out there. So I hope this gives you a little insight if you're wondering WTF is tarot, into what tarot is, so you can start on your own personal journey. Make sure you subscribe to below so you can stay up to date on all the videos that I release. Once again, my name is Cidnee and this is Arcana ATL. Get out there and start reading, folks. Bye.